Hello and welcome to Autocar Professional. This is Prerna Liddu and I'm delighted to be sitting with Mr. Yashovardhan Agarwal, MD of Welspun BAPL. What an exciting time to be in the auto industry, and let's start with that. We're here at the Bharat Mobility Global Expo. Let's start with a general sense of how do you see the tech landscape, auto landscape changing with all the new technologies coming in. Give me a general sense of the industry and then we'll go into the specifics.
I think it's the perfect time for an auto industry player. I think we in auto industry right now are going through a revolution where we're seeing a lot of changes happen. Once we're seeing changes of ICE engines moving into EV engines, we're seeing hydrogen come into play for commercial vehicles. So the engine is changing. The number of volumes today, all OEMs are talking about doubling their capacities, right? So I think it's a perfect time. I think the market is growing. The land structure is changing. We're moving more into premiumized vehicles. So gone are the days where the most basic edition vehicle was selling. Now people are asking for features, benefits. They want their rear view camera. They want that ADAS system.
Yeah, they've become more demanding.
Yeah, and they're willing to pay that premium. See, that change in mindset is very important. And with that comes a lot of scope in R&D. So companies want to invest in R&D.
Yeah.
Where OEMs where supply chain wanted the OEM to invest in R&D. Now we are interested in doing our own R&D. That's the way you move forward.
And also a lot more localization of R&D from India for the world.
Yeah, exactly. Like one of our JVs, we used to rely on the design center abroad, but nowadays our Indian design centers become stronger than our counterpart, where they are taking Indian design and showcasing it abroad. So I think that shows to the Indian mindset and the growing attitude that we have.
Yeah, some of the opportunities from India and domestic manufacturing, if you could delve into that, what would the next 5 to 10 years look like in terms of opportunities from India?
I think the opportunities are endless. I think wherever we see opportunities. You're seeing a lot of foreign technology coming to India, right? Localization we spoke about, but we are talking about even the design element getting localized in India. So whether it is products that once we were not very keen on touching, whether it's like safety products, I think now India is taking a step forward. So we see a lot of more automation happening in plants.
With the Syntex BAPL acquisition, what is the vision going forward? What is the kind of growth that you're targeting and looking at? If you could just define the vision for us.
So being a part of the Welspun group, I think growth is a mandatory
it's
demand.
A given, yeah.
And in our scale of business that we are right now in, we have to grow multiples. We can't be growing at 10-20% year on year. I think we are targeting a 5x, 10x scope in the next 5-7 years. Because see, we see a landscape and we see potential. At the end of the day, it's based on potential. We have the right team in place with the right mindset. I think now the team is ready, the products are coming. We're seeing that feedback from every OEM also, because at the end of the day, this company was in NCLT where it hurt a lot of OEMs and relationships were a little sour. But now we're seeing that good news, good relationships. OEMs are asking, designs are asking. Engineering
came out with flying colors, and then here we are.
Audit scores are improving, efficiencies are improving. So that way it's showing. So we see that the team is right. We see the products are niche products with a big scope. So that way we are very bullish on it.
Okay. Now going forward, if you could define like an expansion path for us, more partnerships on the cards, how do you see the vision going forward?
We realize we're not from the auto industry, and we realize we need technology that is proven. And if we start doing in-house technology, I'll be old by the time we become market leaders. So we want to go to the JV route, where we want to tie up with the most innovative leaders in that division. Yeah. That is a must. And using our Welspun is very strong at setting up large manufacturing hubs. In fact, our mother plant is Anjar, 2,600 acres of land. So that we know is our strength. We're relying on the technology of our JV partners to give OEMs the most cutting edge products that one can think of.
Your group is sort of like its expansive network. How do you leverage the strengths of all these group companies and sort of make sure that synergies play out well?
So that's helpful because all our group companies' head office is one in Mumbai. So it just takes one floor up and down. So that way management can we're very free and open. So that using elements, so like for example in auto industry, we're leveraging textiles, we're leveraging Welspun Corp with metal use.
Yeah.
So that way it's very helpful.
Okay, so you're in expansion mode, and this is the time to be in India, invest in India, and make in India for the world. What will it take from your side in terms of investments and capacity expansion and the vision for the future? If you could just define that for us.
So fortunately, this is already on track. As we see OEMs expanding the share capacity, we have to expand each and every plant of ours. In the past 24 months, we've already started 2 new plants, one in Pune, one in Pritampur, and even capacity is getting increased in Pantnagar. So that way we're already on the mark.
Yeah. Do you see a lot of this narrative about China plus one and India becoming like a sourcing hub and manufacturing hub for the world, and therefore export opportunity coming up?
Definitely.
How big is that for you?
I think no matter what we say, it's undervalued or underappreciated. We are seeing that sense from the whole. If I can talk about the whole group for a second, we are feeling that where that China plus one is happening. And
automotive more so?
Definitely. I think you have a lot of new companies and growing companies like the likes of MG, which are coming with new technologies, where maybe we're also looking at exports are also increasing for the likes of Hyundai and Kia. They would know that numbers are a bit better. I don't want to speak for them, but that export is coming where it's to the likes of European players as well. We see more parts as an auto industry, we're seeing more parts getting exported.
Okay.
The mobile industry is something we can talk about, where numbers are getting published, where we are becoming one of the largest exporters.
India is such a leader in that.
Yeah, we are becoming one of the largest exporters of mobile phones, and that will soon get followed with auto industry, I feel.
Very interesting. Like with semiconductors coming in and so many other different use cases from the mobile industry, like it's almost a gadget now, so it's almost equated with the tech kind of an operation, so all that is also happening.
Yeah, and see, we already are supplying to the likes of, like even in technology in India, Indian engineers are really appreciative because of we're one English speaking, we're youth as a country, so we are. And that familiarity with North America is really helping us. So we see that scope really coming into play.
Got it. If you could leave us with a few trends for the upcoming, like what should the industry prepare for? There's EV, there's a mix of technologies that we're talking about, but we don't know because a lot of investments have been made in some countries, in, for example, in hydrogen, in ethanol, in hybrids, in EVs. There's a lot of confusion in which way India is going to take in terms of its fuel mix. So what is your reading of the automotive industry?
I think we're overcomplicating it. I think it's more easy. I find it a bit more easy. We have to see the use case of the vehicle and then the technology assigned with it. For cars, I don't think so hydrogen will ever come into play. Hydrogen is known for torque. Torque you require for heavy vehicles like your commercial vehicles.
So there's a good use case for that.
So even shipping vessels are going to use hydrogen because they're large vessels, they need the torque. See, batteries and electricity, I don't see a strong future in commercial vehicles because it'll make the vehicle heavy and then less load a vehicle can carry. So I think cars will be electric. I think commercial vehicles, shipping vehicles will always be hydrogen based. When we talk about CNG, see, India is one of the few players that actually uses CNG. In Europe, in US, people don't use CNG as form of
Only for fleet.
yes.
Yeah.
But if you see the prices of natural gas, it is falling in America, and we would see that. I feel that we'll see that coming in India as well. So
there's a resurgence of cleaner fuels. So all cleaner diesel is making a comeback throughout the world. So that could have a trickle down.
that will work, and then hybrid will come. So you'll have your mixtures where you start with your normal ICE engines, then you'll have your CNGs, your hybrids, and at the end, I think will be electric. I think once our infrastructure is ready for electricity, pure EV, I think that's the end game. I think hybrids are just a comma.
Yeah. Not the full.
Yeah, not the full.
Lastly, if you could highlight 3 focus areas for the group. For I know you're like a very sharp person. You will now that you're at the helm of affairs. How do you see the growth for the company, and 3 key focus areas for the next 5 years, if you could define that?
So you're asking me to reveal all my secrets, but I think the areas that one really can focus on is technology. I think the technology of the product, I think that is really underappreciated. The second point I would say is the way the product is made. The automation in the plant, the where you have to have 0 ppm, because that tolerance will go away. And third, I want to say is, which is coming now in auto, is Source 3. Not only the way the technology of the part, but how it's made. And what are you doing to the environment around it? And
then the entire ESG ecosystem around it, that obviously will sort of give it a big push.
That is very important. See, today when I always go back to Anjar as inspiration, where the chairman had once said that most people talk about having a farm in your plant. And he said, I want a plant in my farmhouse.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah.
So you have to take care of this ecosystem around you. You have to see, today we all live on one planet, and it's our job to take care of it. Everyone says we're small, we don't make, but small things add up, right? So I think ESG, automation processes, and technology. So to sum it up, those are the 3 things I think one should focus on.
Very interesting times for the auto industry indeed. And thank you. We will be watching out for you and the growth areas and the kind of impact that you're creating in the industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really nice.